Welcome, friend, to Life and Liberty Radio. I'm David Householder, here to encourage your pursuit of happiness. You and I are partners, exploring our shared spiritual journeys. Together, we're dreaming and working for a free society. Tell others today about our adventure in faith and freedom. So breathe in, open your mind, lift up your spirit. Let's get started. So, North Korea exploded another nuclear test, and we're supposed to get all afraid, or so say the folks in leadership in Washington, D.C. We need to worry about this. Well, once again, that's an opportunity for them to say, we need more of your taxes, more of your defense, we need to go over there, do something, get involved, put our hands in the garbage disposal while it's running. No, we don't need to do that. I'm going to talk about why we need to stop with our activity in Korea, and we need to stop now. There is no reason for us to be involved in Korea, especially in this century. Perhaps last century, that's a whole nother thing. That's gone. This is now. This is real. And the truth is, we're really mixed up and sort of entangled there in ways we really don't need to be. The Founding Fathers warned us against entangling foreign alliances, and you say, "Oh, you must be one of those isolationists." No, I'm not an isolationist. Let me say that again. Read my lips, even though you can't see them. I'm not an isolationist. I'm not a pacifist. I'm the kind of person who thinks the best defense is one like they have in Switzerland, which is pretty much a national guard, where everybody serves a little bit of time every year. And that's what the Founding Fathers, especially George Mason, envisioned for the United States, which is the basis of the Second Amendment, which talks about a militia rather than a standing army. We didn't want to be the Redcoats 2.0. We'd seen the Redcoats. We didn't want to be that. That was not our role model. We didn't want to be an imperial force. We need to be involved everywhere in the world. Trade, cultural stuff, whatever. I'm not talking about isolation. I'm not talking about Fortress America. I'm talking about getting involved in the whole world, but realizing when things aren't our business. And Korea is not our business. The divisions in Korea and the problems they have there need to be solved by Koreans. Picture, if you will, the Battle of Gettysburg. Oh, it would have been so great if the French and the British and the Russian armies had shown up and intervened on both sides. Of course not. We had some real social issues between North and South America, otherwise known as the Union and the Confederacy. Praise God nobody came in and messed that up. We needed to figure that out for ourselves. It was our original sin to enslave a fifth of the population based on skin color. That was the biggest brokenness in our DNA, and we had to deal with that. Every country has its issues. Every nationality has its issues, and they need to deal with those things on their own. And foreign intervention will just mess it up, make it worse, and perhaps prolong it. We have 5 figures of troops in Korea. The armistice was signed in 1953, and we still have tons of troops over there. 1953. Let me see. That's 60 years ago. If you were born on the day of the armistice, you'd be looking forward to retirement now. And our troops are still there. And they're right on the firing line. If there were to be a war between North and South Korea, they would be the first to die. We wouldn't have a chance to declare war. And never mind that we never declared war the first time. It was our first undeclared major war in American history, also known as an illegal war. Please hear me. I'm not coming down on the brave men and some women who served and put themselves in harm's way in Korea. And the government says that 33,686 Americans died there, but we all know that it was closer to 45,000. It's in the government's interest to kind of make those numbers look smaller. So unless you got shot in battle, it doesn't count. Never mind the 8,000 men we never found, MIA, and the several thousand that died of other causes. So, 45,000 plus Americans dying in the Korean War between 1950 and 1953. And we're still there. So how long are we going to be there? Till Jesus comes back? I mean, what is the point? We're on the hair trigger. We're right there on the DMZ between two countries which are still, 60 years later, still officially at war with each other. They just have a ceasefire. So if they decide to shoot at each other, we're the first to die, and we're immediately drawn into a war without the president even having a chance to ask the Congress for a declaration of war. We'll just be in it. And the North is developing nukes. Great. Great. One of the strangest countries on earth, the Hermit Kingdom, North Korea, run by Kim Jong-un, who is the descendant of Kim Il-sung, the great statue guy in North Korea, the cult of personality. If you're a Korean leader and you die, the whole country goes into mass weeping. Looks very strange to those of us from the outside in free societies. But it's perhaps the least free society on earth, North Korea. Why? Because they have a centrally planned economy, centrally planned government, centrally planned everything. Central planning doesn't work. If you really think the government needs to solve our education and health problems and transportation problems, look at Korea. How's it working for them now? Not very well. So, Korea, 73 million people, gigantic country population-wise, 73 million, 1/3 in the north, 2/3 in the south, the capitalist south, one of the wealthiest nations on earth, part of the G20. I was in South Korea, landed at the new airport, took the bus into town with my wife and my son, drove around for the day, and it is a beehive of activity. The city of Seoul, one of the biggest cities in the world, you can buy anything at the public markets, anything. And this thriving metropolis, and I didn't see any automobiles from Japan or any automobiles from the United States. Why? Because Korea has quite a few brands of their own, some of which I'd never seen, and all very well made. South Korea, non-centrally planned. North Korea, centrally planned. Can we get a clue from this when we elect our officials? Because most of our officials say we need to do more planning from the center, because the government's going to fix things. And they promise that if we vote for them and they go in, they can't do it because it doesn't work. North Korea has shown us that. So we just go in debt trying and failing. Have you read The Blackberry Bush? At the moment the Berlin Wall falls, a boy and a girl are born on opposite sides of the world. Did they share a destiny? Do we all share the same destiny? Come on a treasure hunt through the landscape of your soul. BlackberryNovel.com. So North Korea, South Korea, still at war, and we're on the hair trigger. And North Korea is exploding nuclear devices. People, write your congressperson, write your senator, bring the troops home now. Get them out of here. Get them out of there. We don't need to be there. It's not our business. This is a Korean issue, just like our Civil War was our issue. And they need to figure this out themselves. And North Korea, with Kim Jong-un, in his 20s, running the country with nuclear weapons, is trying to get our attention. The wisest thing we could do would be to ignore him. Take our troops home. The South can defend itself. It outnumbers the North 2-1. Economically, 1,000,000,000. I mean, the South is a brilliant economy. The North is a mess. Financially, if the war lasted more than 5 days, the South would win. And there's not going to be a war. It's just a whole bunch of posturing. Asian posturing, which North Americans don't understand and can't pretend to. We misread people in Asia and the Middle East all the time. It's gotten us into huge trouble. We need to stop intervening in things like this. This is not our business. Bring the troops home. We have a lot of Americans over there. They're in harm's way. Let the Koreans figure this out. They'll figure it out peacefully. We are just an irritant over there. We're not keeping the peace. The South can keep the peace. They've got the resources to keep the peace. And if they can't, they better well figure it out. We don't need to be there, and we don't need to be dragged into another war because of some hermit kingdom leader, Kim Jong-un. And he's doing this to get our attention. Say, I have a radio show in Los Angeles and San Francisco every day from 3 to 5, and I have people writing me because they don't like what I say. Oh, I could get all upset, and I could defend myself and engage it and try to win the argument. Or I could do what's a lot smarter. Don't feed the trolls. Remember that phrase, don't feed the trolls. And there's a lot of trolls in this world. Call them terrorists, call them freedom fighters, call them nut jobs, whatever. Don't engage them. It's not worth it. That's what they want. Why do you think Kim Jong-un is exploding a nuclear weapon? Because he wants the attention. So let's not give it to them. Let's go home. Let them figure it out. Ask them to put their big boy pants on and do their thing. Oh, but our ally Japan's over there. Japan, with 120 million, 130 million wealthy people, can't take care of themselves? We have to protect them? I don't think so. Let them figure this out. This is not an American issue. Just isn't. It needs to stop. We went over there in an undeclared war, the first undeclared war in American history, and we're paying the price. We need to get out of there. We need to be friends with anybody who wants to trade with us and let them figure it out on their own. It's time America learns to be a good neighbor, and it's time we stop trying to be the Redcoats 2.0. Well, that's all for today on Life and Liberty Radio. Thanks so much for sharing this part of your spiritual journey with me. Now, the views on this program are not necessarily those of my advertisers, sponsors, places I work, or do business with. They're purely my own, but I'm sharing them with you, so share your ideas with me. Write me on Twitter at Liberty House, LIBERTYHOUS, no E. Until next time, let's continue dreaming and working for a free and spiritually grounded society.